everyone. Another big day around the office here. Of course, recognize this guy, Dan O'Toole. I'm Kylie Conway, and we are got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we wanted to come back with a quick update. We always want to give more over communicating rather than under. Not always the best thing, but I can't get it through my head, right?
Yeah, but it is important, and especially right now, it's day by day. We don't know when we're actually going to get the official word, but it could be any moment. So we're operating as if it could happen today. So
right.
There's a lot happening to get all of those ducks in a row, but we are getting a lot of questions regarding how do you get your shares? How do you see them? What do you do with them once Odyssey, this is the transfer agent, releases the shares? And so we have some instructions that we can give, but the big announcement is that you kind of need to wait for the official announcement.
Well, no. Here's where we are. We just want to make sure that everybody is ready to go, and that's going to be incumbent upon you. So what we're doing is our transfer agent is called Odyssey. They're housing all the shares, and those shares will be allocated out to people that own those shares. So what we've done is we've commissioned them to send an email to every one of our shareholders, which should be coming very soon. It could be today. It may have already happened.
Our CFO actually says it is going out today, so you might already have it.
Perfect. So when you get that letter, the shares aren't ready to transfer just yet because we haven't been approved yet. We're trying to gear up so that when we are approved, we can move very fast. What we don't want to do is have the specter of us like holding your shares back or anything like that. We've seen that happen with other companies, and we don't want to be those guys. So we hope you're not going to sell, but if you need to, you're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
It's going to be up to you though, because when Odyssey reaches out, there's going to be some things you need to do. You probably have to monitor on a regular basis to when those shares are released for transfer. So, and that's why we want to arm you with all the information right now.
And one thing to keep in mind is if you are one of the investors who invested in multiple different crowdfunding, so think Start Engine, WeFunder, and or PickMe, you're going to get separate communications for each investment that you made.
Right. And also don't forget, the shares did a 1-for-4 reverse split. So if you had 100 shares, that is now represented by 25 shares. Just to reiterate, the shares were $3.25 each. We consolidated 4 shares to 1. So 4 shares at $3.25 each equals 1 share at $13. And that's what's called our reference price, and that we need to be above a certain dollar threshold to go public on the Nasdaq to be able to trade. So that's why we did that. We did that December 1st, I think was the date. So most of you, I'm sure, know about that, but there's always somebody that doesn't know. So we want to catch you up on that. So.
And if you need to change any of your personal records, say your email might have changed in between investing or since you've invested, we cannot update your records. You have to update those through Odyssey. We have the contact information for Odyssey on our website. I will post it in the link of this video description, and it'll be on your screen here. So that's the phone number, email, all of that. Contact Odyssey. They'll get you the answers that you need, and they'll be able to update your records.
Perfect. Can you recite that back to us right now, please? No, just kidding. Yeah. What else do we have?
I think you wanted to celebrate the first 3,000, the first 5,000, just kind of reiterate that.
Yeah. Anybody that's with us right now, you guys are all the pre-public 5,000. But in that group, we also have our first 3,000. We have a lot of pride, and we know you do too, around both of those. So, we want to celebrate that. When we go to New York, we're thinking of some shirts that have first 3,000 and pre-public 5,000 on them. If you're not in that first 3,000, but you're still pre-public 5,000, you'll have some shirt that says, denotes that. And that'll be a big pride point when we go out there. So we're excited about that. And we're doing a swag store.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get a swag store up. It's probably going to take a couple weeks, but we plan on having custom designs for the first 3,000, the first 5,000, and then just Arrive AI gear for just general all-purpose reasons.
Yeah, I wore my bright green Arrive AI for this today. So This is fun. What else we got?
You also want people to mark their shares a certain way. So once you do, through Odyssey, and Odyssey does release your shares, there's a little process, and Dan has a request.
Yeah, absolutely. there's a what do I want to say about this? We don't want people using our shares against us to try to drive the price of the company down. And what happens? People sell shares short. And the way say that 3 times fast. Can you do it?
Sell share short.
Okay, that's once. When and the way they do that is they'll call a broker and say, "Hey, I want to borrow 10,000 shares," and they'll borrow somebody's shares that don't have a restriction on them, and they'll sell those shares. Say they sell them at $50 and drive the price down to $10, and then they rebuy at $10 and they capture that $40 delta where they sold somebody else's shares, yours at the 50, and then rebought your shares and get back to you at 10. So not that that's going to happen, but let's try to we want this thing to be popping. We want to go straight up. We don't want to go down. And we want to do everything we can to account for that. So this is something we can do. I'm marking my shares that way. I'm a super majority holder, so a lot of shares will not be available for borrowing like that. But we just want everybody, to the extent your broker will work with you like that. I think it's just a good thing for us to do.
So if somebody's talking to their broker, what specifically would they need to say to their broker to do this?
Just say when you're transferring your shares, not from Odyssey because they can't, they don't have any way to handle that. But whomever the brokerage company that you're dealing with, Schwab or whomever, just when those shares are going into your account, just say, hey, I want to mark those as not available for borrow or loan. And if you can do that, I don't know if everybody plays ball like that, but to the extent that they will, we'd appreciate that. That's for the good of all of us. Yeah. That's in everyone's interest that has shares.
And I think it deserves an explanation because it is complicated and I can understand some confusion. So Odyssey holds all of the shares. So that is the transfer agent. So they've taken them from the crowdfunding and they're holding them. And then once they release them, you will need to designate your own personal broker. And then Odyssey can transfer the shares into your brokerage account. And that's when you will have control over your shares.
Right.
So how do you select a broker? That's up to you.
Right. Yep. Pick a good broker, somebody that wins versus loses, right?
Right. That's the important part. But the thing is that from here on out, we cannot control any of this process.
Yep. You're going to be on your own. We're still going to be with you, but
yeah, we can help you along the way and direct you, but there's nothing we can change.
And on our website, on our investor relations page, we do have Odyssey's contact info. They're well aware of each of you. You guys are all on our cap table. I would say also, if you want to update your information to us somehow, is maybe investor relations at Arrive AI.
We can't update it within Odyssey though. Okay. So if you want to update that,
we like to have everyone's current information for outreach that we may do from time to time, right?
I know and you can go on our website and fill out the new contact forms, and that will
phone number, email, whatever you want to give us. We're not selling your info or anything, but it's good for us to have it. We're the We the People story, right? You're all part of this big community, and we want to keep track of you that way, right?
Yeah, and the We the People story, it's kind of how this all started, and it's been a process from 2014 is when you first had the idea. 11 years later, here we are.
Yeah, it's been a long 11 years.
Yeah, you made it though. It's pretty incredible.
We're getting really, really close. Till we've made it, we haven't made it, but we're getting to where we're going to make it. Right?
And you've been reflecting a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been a heck of a journey. Thanks for bringing that up. It's a good segue. I know everybody's giddy and wants to go yesterday, just like we do. I just want to say, nobody. I know some of you guys out there really want to get there really hard and fast with us, but nobody wants to do this more than I do. And everything that you guys think and say and feel times 100 right here. I'm dealing with it every day. I'm your biggest advocate because I'm advocating for myself and my family too. We all want the same thing. We all want to get liquidity. We need the capital to really execute on our business plan and do all the big things that we're planning to do. But we're just controlling one piece of the puzzle. And I can tell you, when things come in our court, we turn them around quickly, professionally, extinguish and whatever the question is immediately and thoroughly. But there's a lot of other moving parts here, and that's where the frustration comes in. Frankly, this on again, off again. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? We're feeling all that with you, and it kind of wears you out. I gotta say, I'm feeling it. But we're getting close. It's going to be a big day when it does get here, and we're going to appreciate it all that much more, I think. But in the reflection, I just want to say, there's been a lot of things that have happened. We've had term sheets from Nasdaq company. We had the Bruce deal. We had a company called Pepperline. We had an LOI from a company called Alpine for Nasdaq company. There's been a lot of behind the scenes dealings, a lot of on in front of the scenes dealings that we've been working on, and we believed each one of those things was going to culminate in it, and for one reason or another, it didn't. I think everything happens the way it's supposed to, and at the end of the day, I think we're really fortunate that everything worked out this way. I've always believed that when it was our moment to go public, no matter how bad or turbulent the market conditions were, the clouds would part, this big bright sun would shine on us, and that was going to be our moment. And I think that that's really happening. It would be a miracle if we went public, and the day we started trading, say the Chinese tariff thing got resolved and the whole market surged, and that might be a big day for us. So anyway, there's a lot of dynamics. These are things we're thinking about every day. I just want you guys to be in the fold on that.
Yeah, and when that day comes, which we're hoping is very soon, maybe as early as mid next week or so, we are going to plan a big party.
Yes, we are.
And we would like you to be a part of it.
That's right. We're going to have a war room set up here when we do start trading. We're going to send and this is why it's important to have your contact info. We're going to send a Zoom or a Teams invite, and we're going to have a big screen in our war room. We'll have an on-site shindig going here, but we know a lot of you are not here, and so we'd love to still have you be a part of that moment. So we want you to beam in and say hi, introduce yourselves, virtual high five, right?
Yeah.
Watch CNBC. Let's see the ARAI ticker go across, right? Let's all buy a bunch of shares and have it be the most active stock that day. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
So
I think we might do a Facebook Live. What do you think?
Yeah,
we might just stream it on Facebook.
That's good. This is evolving, right?
It's a work in progress, but we are planning. It's we just need the day.
We do need the day, and when that day does come, the romantic image I always had was we ring the opening bell, and that's our first day we trading, and it's all orchestrated. This has been such a long process for all of us. We're going to forego ringing the bell that day because there is, it's a process to get in line for that, and I really don't want to defer this any longer. I want to trade immediately. That's why we're getting you your Odyssey stuff immediately. You guys will be ready to go. And we will too. We'll start trading. We'll let you know as quickly. The minute we know, we'll be out there.
Yeah. So be checking your emails. If you don't see one by tomorrow, then reach out to Odyssey. And if you do find it today, then it'll have all the instructions on what you need to do. It's a step-by-step of how to create the login, how to transfer everything to your broker, all the good stuff.
Just remember, nothing can be transferred just yet.
Yeah.
So I'll have to have that final clearance from SEC and Nasdaq, which hopefully will be soon. And something else, people always like, hey, what's our stock going to do? Is it going to go up 10 times, 100 times, 1,000, whatever? Of course, I want it to go up and never look back. That's the goal. I do believe we have a very unique opportunity, the scalability and the sheer size of the market that we're building. It's a brand new market, is like none other out there, and it gives us a unique opportunity to be. I'm thinking the next Google, something really big and generational. But that's not a guarantee. That's my hope and aspiration, and that's why I've put everything I can into this business, and I think that's where we're going. But you guys all need to do what you think is right. Like I said earlier, I hope you'll hold your shares. I hope you'll buy more. If you have to sell and leave us, we'll never forget you. But we'd really love you to be a part of.
I always think when you say we'll never forget you, I always am worried you're going to say we'll never forgive you.
We'll forgive you.
We will forgive you.
Yeah, we're not going to even blame you.
Forget
no blame, just love, right?
Yeah,
we couldn't have been here. We could not have been here without every one of you. I don't care if it's $1 or $1 million, whatever it was. Everybody contributed. It was the same significance to each of you, and we don't diminish any of that. We love all that. At some point, $1 was the difference, and it really was as we got to the end here. So people came up big. So much loyalty. We just don't ever want to forgive. We don't want to ever forget that. Didn't mean to touch you. Sorry. But anyway, I think, was there anything else we want to hit real quick here?
I think that's good. I think that's really the information from Odyssey, and to kind of clear the air there. But expect those communications and get excited. And we're so close.
Yeah, and you'll know. You should know when. I think we'll get it out there in a huge way
Mm-hmm.
once we really know. We just want to show activity and let you guys know we haven't forgotten about you and gone quiet. And one other thing I do want to throw out: some of our investors started a chat on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Arrive AI will have an IPO day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was started maybe a year or two ago. I mean, it's got a fair amount of investors in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to check that out and join that, we don't administrate that or have anything to do with it, but I know it's kind of a robust place, and I do check it out every once in a while.
There's some helpful info in there.
Yeah, there's some good info, a lot of support most of the time, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
But hey, you know what? That's what it is. We don't want to limit free speech, right? If you have something to say, good, bad, or ugly, we want to hear it and address it.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's all good, right?
Of course.
Okay. Everybody, thanks again.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Let's do it.
See you there. See you in New York. Come on out. Bye.
Bye.